guys, this is Michael Parker. Today's subject is going to be a pretty sensitive topic, especially for me. This one really is going to hit home with some of my personal struggles, and I'm going to share those with you today. Today's topic is going to be suicide. I feel like this is a topic that a lot of people bring attention to, but nobody really gets in deep with. People say it's like a terrible thing, and you want to raise awareness to it, but then it's never really addressed by whether it's because people don't know what to do, and then those that are dealing with it, they don't know what to say, and they don't want to be judged for what their experience is. So I'm going to step out and I'm going to say I have struggled with suicide. I've attempted suicide a couple times. By the grace of God, I am still here today. So I want to shed some light on this, share some of my personal experiences with you guys. When it comes to suicide, there's usually some deep laying reason why someone is suicidal. For me, it was I just been diagnosed with PTSD, and I couldn't figure out how to cope with it. On top of that, my marriage was falling apart, and I was going through divorce there. So I was just mentally in a terrible state. I also felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I wasn't worth it. I wasn't wanted. I felt like I was a mistake. I'm sure a lot of people that are struggling with suicide kind of feel the same way on one or two or all of these areas. But I just want to say, like, it didn't go from, hey, I felt this way, to, oh, I'm going to go kill myself. Like, there were signs. I attempted to get help. I wanted help. I didn't know how to go about it. And I feel like that's the struggle. You feel like you're weak when you have to ask for help in something like this. Some of those things that I did along the way to get help, well, it was a process, really. I started out with entertaining thoughts of suicide. What would the world be like without me? What would be better off without me? Stuff like that. To started cutting myself, watching myself bleed, feel the pain. Progressed to posting and saying things about going away for good, how I was basically thought the world would be better off without me, alluding to the fact that I was going to commit suicide. I've been told several times by people that, oh wow, you're just doing that for attention. I'll say, I guess in a way it is kind of seeking attention. They are attention seeking traits, but not because like of the reason people say. It's more of a cry for help. Like when somebody is doing these things, like they want help, they just don't know what to do, they don't know what to say. The best way I can describe being in that area where you want to commit suicide, imagine going into a tunnel. You know, people say there's light at the end of the tunnel. Imagine going into a tunnel, but there's no light at the end of it. It's a pitch black sky outside with no moon. Like, it's completely dark, and you have no idea where you're at. You're just consumed by this darkness, and you don't know which way's up, which way's down. You don't know what to do. That's what suicide is. Like, you can't see the positives, you can't see a way out, all you see is this darkness, and it is a scary place to be. And like I said, it's a slow progress. There are those signs along the way, getting there. Like I said, I didn't just go out and try to kill myself one day. It was a progress of hurting myself to posting about hurting myself, trying to come back from that place. When somebody is demonstrating these characteristics, that means that there's part of them that still wants to live. They still want to get help. They just don't know how to go about doing it. The 2 times that I actually attempted to commit suicide, there was no warning. I went out with my pistol after drinking close to a fifth of whiskey. Of course, I had to drink because there was still some small voice inside me telling me to keep fighting. But I was at a point I didn't want to fight anymore. I was over it. So I drank close to a fifth of whiskey. I took my 1911 out, put a gun to my head, pulled the trigger. Nothing happened. That was my first attempt. That was God stepping in and telling me it's not my time. Well, 2 days later, I said I was going to try again. So I drank a fifth and a half of vodka and went outside and hung myself from a tree. I don't know how I got down out of that tree. Somebody that witnessed said that they didn't understand how I got out of the tree. I was there, just hanging in this tree, and then the next thing I was on the ground. I know God had His hand in that. The point is like, I didn't go and warn anybody that I was going to do anything those times. I just went out and I just did it. And the point of me sharing this is I want people to recognize like those warning signs. If you see somebody demonstrating like these behaviors, like reach out, help them. For me, a lot of people when I was going through this, they were just like, oh, you just want attention, and you, instead of helping me, they like shamed me. Don't shame somebody who's going through this. Like, help them. As long as they're still alive, there's hope. If they're posting that they're gonna hurt themselves, there's still hope. Like, they haven't done it yet, so you can still help them. There's still a chance. Like, I hear a lot that suicide is a cowardly act. It's taking the easy way out. It's selfish. Well, it can be all those things, but you gotta just realize, like, when you're in there, like, you can't see any good in anything. So instead of like shaming somebody that's struggling with suicide, help them. Give them the help they need. Get them the help they need. Like, to those of you that are struggling with suicide, I've been there. Been to the breaking point. I just want you to know that there is hope. It's only over when you say it's over. Like, don't give up. It gets better. So keep pushing. Keep fighting. I know sometimes it gets hard and you just want to give up. But when you get there, push a little harder. Go a little further. Stand a little longer. The Bible says when you've done all to stand, stand firm then. It's one of my favorite verses. Sometimes you feel like you can't stand any longer. Stand a little longer. You can keep going. This goes back to mind over matter. Like, you gotta keep faith. You gotta keep your head on right. I know it doesn't seem like things will get better, but I promise you, come out the other side much better. Get help. Don't be afraid to seek help. It's worth it. Definitely worth it. I am thankful that I am here. That was back in 2016, summer 2016, that I tried to kill myself. It's been 3.5 years, and I am so thankful that I'm still here and that I wasn't successful. I just pray that somebody gets the help that they need. Reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. If you know somebody that's struggling with suicide, offer them help. If you can't help, get them the help they need. It's a real struggle. But that's what I got for you guys. Love you guys. God bless.